Welcome back to the channel, members. Right now we're currently in North Philadelphia. We're at the intersection of Germantown Ave and Lehigh Avenue. It's about 61 degrees today. It's a pretty nice day. We're gonna take a drive, a 360 virtual reality drive through North Philadelphia. On my right hand side you can see there's a little table where they give out free phones and free tablets. We're now on Lehigh Avenue, next to the 54 bus stop. We're gonna make this left-hand turn. We are going to make a left on 8th Street. We're passing 9th Street. We have two churches, one on our right, one on our left. If you're new to the 360 virtual reality experience, remember you can adjust the picture quality in your YouTube browser. Click the little gear wheel and you can watch this video in its highest resolution, like 4K. We're gonna be turning left at 8th and Lehigh Avenue. We have a Save-A-Lot, Family Dollar, Snipes, TD Bank, Little Caesars on our left-hand side. This is the original site of the Julio de Burgos Bilingual Middle Magnet School, and as well as the original Edison. Now, many people don't know that Edison High School was one of the high schools in Philadelphia that had the most casualties when it came to war. On our left, we have a Rest in Peace Memorial. Mason, fly, my boy. I think that's what it said. Either my boy or Mason, fly boy. So they knocked down Julio de Burgos Middle School, and this is the old Edison. Now it's called Edison 64. It's low income, affordable efficiencies and bedrooms. We're at 8th and Somerset. We're in the Fairhill neighborhood here in Badlands, North Philly. We're traveling about 14 miles an hour. I do have a Cadillac behind me. We're approaching Cambria. We're at the intersection of 8th and Cambria. The Way You Like It Pizzeria on my left. Pizza, steaks, rotisserie, and more. We have a Poppy store on my right hand side. We just passed it, sharp right. Got some pedestrians crossing the street. Remember, at any given time you can look all around me. Just take your device, move it left, move it right, move it up, move it down. You can look all around. You can even swipe your screen and look around. But personally, I like to move my body around because I feel as though it makes it more of an immersive experience. If you have the VR goggles, then you can enjoy a hands-free experience. We're at 8th and Indiana. We have Indiana Mini Market on my left-hand side. We have several residents on both sides of the street just hanging out. The nice weather's gonna bring more people out. We're approaching Clearfield, 8th and Clearfield. There was a segment that was shot here for the British Broadcasting Network, right here on my left-hand side. They had covered this before in a Badlands, Philadelphia documentary. We have people sitting outside on my right-hand side. You can see the bicycles out, people unloading their groceries. Look on both sides of the street. There's actually ambience. People outside. You can hear the music playing. Yeah, they're playing Slick Rick. Let's make this left-hand turn, and then we're gonna make another left. Matter of fact, yeah, we're gonna go straight, and then make another left, and then make another left, and then we'll do another left on top of that. We're gonna go up Clearfield. We're gonna try to mix it up. We're not focused on any place in specific. We're just gonna jump around. I wanted to do a VR tour of this neighborhood because the weather's starting to break, and when the weather gets warmer, more people come outside. They had a four-wheeler out there. Speaking of four-wheeler, there's a four-wheeler and a dirt bike at the end of this road. We're gonna make a left on Clearfield, but notice how many people are hanging out on this corner coming up on my right-hand side. I could keep going straight. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna go straight, make a right, make another right, and then I'll come over here just so we don't have so many lefts. And just so that you guys can see somebody hanging out and, you know, recreating, socializing. Got another group of individuals just hanging out over here. That's what it's like in the city. If you're not from the city and you're not familiar with city life entertainment, on a regular day, you can just find people sitting out on the steps, enjoying the fresh air. We have Fairhill Burial Ground right here on my right-hand side. As we're turning right, it'll be on our left-hand side. Fairhill Burial Ground. We have a boat. Check out the boat on our right-hand side. There's a guy sitting right next to it. I'm gonna make this right-hand turn on Percy. We're traveling northbound on Percy. We have a female at her door on my right. She just closed her door. Bunch of trash on my left. Streets are kind of rough right now. We have mixed housing back here. It looks like these are potentially PHA housing on my left and on my right. They're relatively new compared to the rest of the neighborhood. Check out this tree. They wrapped a bunch of Christmas garland on the tree. Let me travel slowly through here because, ow, potholes. Ouch. Not sure if 360 is doing justice, but the roads are kind of rough. Some of these little blocks will be this rough, especially, ouch, in North Philly. Not all little blocks, because for example, the next block is in North Philly, but it's nicely paved. I don't know, I think when they do those new buildings, they break open the streets and they fail to repair them correctly. And the salt, the snow, the water and all of that is very corrosive and it destroys the ground. And then the residents are left with the aftermath. So we're gonna make this right-hand turn. We're approaching 9th and Clearfield. There's a mural of a fallen police officer on my left-hand side. You look on my left-hand side, you'll see a Ortiz mural. Jose Manuel Pete Ortiz. We're passing Darien Street. We're at 8th and Clearfield. We have a Winnebago Class A RV on my left-hand side. Let's make this right on Franklin, and then we'll make a left on probably Cambria. I think Cambria will be fair. Or now we could do Indiana. Nah, let's do Cambria. Because Cambria travels eastbound, Indiana travels westbound. We're facing southbound, behind us is northbound. We want to continue to travel east. Got people in front of the beer spot on my right. Now the beer spots will be really popular in the hood when the weather warms up. A lot of people buy beer. A lot of people. They hang out there, and rather than going to the bar, they'll go inside, they'll buy 2 or 3 beers, they'll sit outside and they'll drink it. And just get fresh air. Some people may call that loitering, other people just call it chilling. They're just chilling, hanging out there. See, one thing that I've learned, let's make this left-hand turn on Cambria. One thing that I learned in my lifetime of growing up in Philadelphia and spending my fair share of time on the corners, sometimes the corners where the most activity is at. So people that don't always hang on the corner because they're up to no good. They hang on the corner because it provides a better view. So what does that mean? It provides a better view. If you're sitting in the middle of a block, especially if your block doesn't get a lot of activity, you don't really get a good view of what's going on in your neighborhood. You can look left, you can look right. But when you're in the corner, like these gentlemen right here on my right hand side, they're older gentlemen, probably in their 60s and 70s. They can look this way, they can look that way, they can look behind me, they can look forward. So you get kind of like a wider view, and on the corner there's more activity. There's more like traffic, more passerbyers. And when you're in the hood, sometimes that's entertaining. Sometimes there's nothing else to do but watch people pass you by. We got the old Fairhill Middle School on my right. They closed it down. Fairhill. On our left, we got United Fellowship Deliverance Church. We're at 6th and Cambria. I can make a right, I can go straight. I can't go left because it's a one-way, and we're coming from a one-way. So I think I shall travel straight. This is eastbound on Cambria. Now this is all part of the Badlands. We got a Rest in Peace Memorial on my right-hand side. And then the candles that were placed there for the Rest in Peace Memorial, they spelled out eagles on the candles. E-A-G-L-E-S on each candle. We had 3 Hispanic gentlemen out there taking a look at their vehicle. This is a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood, Puerto Ricans mainly, but there are a fair share of other Hispanics, such as Dominicans, I won't be surprised, Mexicans, Cubans, small percentage, and so on. So on my right hand side, you'll see some palm trees. Take a look. On my left and on my right, there's palm trees on both sides of 5th Street. We're at 5th and Cambria. 5th Street's also known as Jose Ortiz Avenue. 5th Street is where El Centro de Oro begins, which is the center of gold. Let's make this right-hand turn in Lawrence. Traveling southbound on the 2800 block of Lawrence Street. We have Joelvin Grocery. Another one, thank you though. Thank you. So you see him on that big brute force? He wanted to let me know that he has another one of these vehicles for sale. He said this joint look good though. But I told him, I said, I don't really need another one. And at least not another one of these. I already have a few vehicles that are parked off of street property, and it's kind of tough. I don't have any more places to park cars right now. Between me and you guys, the members, I'm trying to troubleshoot that now. Me and Omi are taking the next steps in the next chapter of our life. So hopefully I'll be able to show you guys the answer soon. Then I'll collect cars again. We're at Huntington. Lawrence and Huntington. That was a big four-wheeler he was riding on. It's like the brute force. Huge four-wheelers. They're like 450cc or more. Big machines, but he was a pretty big guy. And then he was riding with somebody in the back and another gentleman. We're gonna make this left-hand turn. We're passing Lithgow. We have a new property on my left-hand side. Right now we're in the West Kensington neighborhood. We're close to the border of West Kensington. We're at 4th and Cumberland. Now West Kensington shares boundaries with Fairhill. We have Nelson's Playground on my left-hand side. They just did a new renovation on it. Looks beautiful. They rebuilt the playground for the kids. Looks good. Pretty happy for them. We're approaching American Street. There's a lot of vacant space that's up for sale on my left. We just passed a lot on my right that's up for sale. We're about, I would say, 3 minutes away from Kensington. Let me make this left-hand turn. Take you guys right back up Lehigh. We're on American Street, traveling northbound on American Street. We have a little flat fix shop on my right-hand side, Eileen's Tire Shop. They're good with, like, if you need a quick fix, if you need a used tire, if you need, let's say, a plug, maybe you might have a nail in your tire. If you buy some tires and you need them to mount and balance your tires, they can do that too. Passing Wendy's on our right, Rite Aid on our left. Checkers on our right is closed down. So, unfortunately, that was one of the restaurants in this little intersection that's no longer with us. There used to be a Cousins across the street on my left-hand side. They closed that spot down. I believe it's up and it's available. On my sharp left, behind me, if you look to my sharp left, you'll see a Rite Aid pharmacy. Not only was a man shot and killed out front of there about 1.5 years ago, and on the next block at the Popeyes, there was an employee shot and killed in the parking lot. And on the following 2 blocks at a Dunkin' Donuts, the manager was shot and gunned down during a robbery. But at that Rite Aid, there was recently... Let me come over here, guys. I'm gonna show you guys this little popular spot over here at the AutoZone. At that Rite Aid, there was recently a woman who was stabbed. There was recently a woman who was stabbed about 2.5 weeks ago. She was stabbed in front of the Rite Aid, and it was a domestic situation. She was stabbed to death. Yep. There's a rest in peace memorial right here on my left-hand side. There's a little box. A gentleman lost his life. Yeah, that's the ever so sad, repetitious story of the inner city. Because I'm not gonna just blame it on North Philadelphia or Philadelphia, because the same can be said about Chicago. The same can be said. So you'll hear on my left, this is the AutoZone that's always popping. Let's just say if you pass through Philly and you need some work done for cheap on your car, stop by 2nd and Lehigh AutoZone. That AutoZone right there is always popping. Always activity. You can always get work done for cheap. And the guys do a pretty good job. We're gonna make this left-hand turn. We're on Hancock and Lehigh. I'm gonna turn left on Hancock and Lehigh. There's a Lehigh laundromat on my right. There's a pharmacy on my left, Urban Care Pharmacy. This warehouse on my left, they've been rehabbing. They've been rehabilitating. Yep. This was abandoned, and they put new windows. They've been pressure washing it, brick pointing it. They're trying to bring it back to life. They paved the whole entire yard. They paved it with asphalt. We're at Hancock and Somerset. Hancock and Somerset. We're gonna continue traveling northbound on Hancock. We're on the 2800 block of Hancock. I have a segment on my channel called Street Scrapers. This is where it was shot, right here on this corner. It was about the dirt bike culture. I had a couple buddies, shout out to Lex. 450 Lex, and shout out to Geronimo, Mr. Gmo. We're approaching Mutter. Wow, they opened up the little shop right there, am I right? Wow, that's been closed for quite some time. A little snack plug, exotic snacks, smoothies, and more. Check out these dogs in front of us. It's like a little brindle chihuahua, and then it's like a little husky, like a husky mix. There's been over a dozen plus shootings on this corner right here. Over a dozen plus shootings. On my right, you can see some kids in the schoolyard. I actually lost an uncle on this corner. And there's been several shootings on this corner also. We're gonna make this right-hand turn on Hope Street. This street back in the day was really troubled. It was a really troubled block. It's a lot less activity than there used to be out. You would drive through this block and it would be, understatement is open air market. That's an understatement. Because it was basically like, it was almost like attending an auction. Do I have $2, $2, $5, $5 over here, $100, $100, $2 for $5, $2 for $5, $5. You would go through here and there'll be at least anywhere from 15 to 20 people on one side, 15 to 20 people on the other side, and everybody was offering you substances. And if you'd slow down because the person in front of you was slowed down because they were buying substances or for whatever reason, traffic was backed up, people walk up to your window and try to offer you something. Yeah, now, as you can see, it wasn't as much activity out as it was in the past. We have a youngster on my right. He looks like he's on an e-bike. He had a full face mask on. One of the ninja face masks. The youngster is following us. And there's a pothole right here that I do not want to go through. Ouch. I went through it anyway, but I tried not to allow it to do much damage. Alright, we're gonna make this left. Oh, so much for that. There's a car right here. Just came out. On our right hand side, we got El Principe restaurant. It's a pretty good restaurant where locals like to eat at. El Principe. It's a Dominican restaurant. They sell like rice, beans, white rice, red rice, mangú, plátanos, plátano maduro, chicken, beef, pork, seafood. They sell all that stuff. The main thing that I would get from them on occasion would be red rice, white rice and beans, or totones and a salad. And they make a really good raw garlic. They make it with pure garlic. It's basically like a garlic paste, it's almost like a cream. It's good. It's with pure garlic. It's awesome. And I like their salads. Simple salad. Lettuce, tomatoes, onions. What else do they have in them? They have sometimes beets and radish. Tastes good. We're at Front and Somerset.